Today's 2-minute drill will be the next in our series of videos about fair housing. We've previously talked about the 7 protected classes of fair housing. We've talked about what source of income is, and we've also defined what a reasonable modification is, which is when an individual requests a change to the physical makeup of their unit or the property. So today we are going to talk briefly about a reasonable accommodation. So a reasonable accommodation is when someone requests a change to a rule, practice, or procedure that will allow them as a protected class an equal opportunity to enjoy the housing. The most common form of a reasonable accommodation request is if you as a landlord have a no pets policy and the individual says they have an assistance animal, be it an emotional support or service animal. In that event, if they meet all the qualified criteria under federal law, then you would be required to generally allow them that accommodation to have a pet in that circumstance. Now, emotional support animals and service animals have many other parts of that analysis that we can go into, but we will do that in a separate video. Another form of a reasonable accommodation request may be if an individual is on Social Security disability income, and they may only get that payment toward the middle of the month. So they may ask for an accommodation for a later payment due date based on when they receive their Social Security income. Another thing to note about reasonable accommodations is it's not necessarily limited to that tenant's unit itself. Someone can make a reasonable accommodation request regarding an amenity or any other common areas. So as a landlord, what should you do if you get a reasonable accommodation request? The first thing is never deny a request outright. No matter how much it may lack merit upon its first glance, fair housing requires that you engage in what's called the interactive process with the tenant before making a decision on that request. The second, call us at Paletz Law. We have decades of experience on a national level in defending fair housing cases and also consulting with landlords and property managers on best practices for how to address these types of requests with your team. So that's been your 2-minute drill for today. I'm Mione with Paletz Law. Be sure to like and subscribe to get notices of all our future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.